Welcome back to Welsh Miniature Board Gamer, and today I am going to be showing you like an instructional video of the TT Combat or TT Scenics Guardian Watchtower. Now, I understand that this isn't going to get a lot of views and most people won't be interested in it, but I thought it was worth making a video because really it's quite a tricky little thing to put together in some ways. I find it knowing which pieces go where really aren't shown on the instructional video instructions rather that the actual company makes. So I thought I'll do it just for somebody's gonna get some use out of this, and it might stop them having a bit of a headache. So yeah, it comes with these 6 sheets of MDF with all the terrain upon them, and it's nice looking terrain. It's all cut nicely and printed nicely, and it all fits together well. Even these small pieces, you know, you can push them all out with your finger and they don't break. There's nothing really fiddly that's going to snap if you don't use a knife to cut them out. If there's any lugs or anything left on the pieces, of course clean them up with a knife or a file and it'll be fine. So next I'm going to saw all these pieces into the relevant grouping. So large pieces going in one pile, walls obviously going in another pile, and like the smaller pieces all going in their separate piles. So in this way I can kind of figure out what's going where without having to do trying to guess as I'm going, really, you know, when I'm gonna have to need these pieces. So yeah, once I've done that, I again clean up all of these smaller pieces with my file, just removing any bits that I might have left when I pushed it out. So we're making this ladder here, so we need these 2 long straight pieces and these little pieces. So I'm going to dry fit and sort of look how they're going to fit together, and like so I'm thinking. And I'm going to use super glue to try and stick these together, because otherwise I'm going to be here all day. So the idea is you leave a gap obviously at the top and at the bottom, and then you leave a gap in between each of the rungs. There are marks on the larger pieces to show roughly where to put them. I pretty much ignored that and just put them where I thought they looked like the spacing would be roughly right. So to get it square, I just used this a piece of wood which I know was a proper flat angle to push against. So once you've done the one side, just put it to the side and wait for that to dry, and then come back and do it again on this one. Now it's a lot easier once you've done the first piece because it's already stuck to the one side, so you just go along each of the prongs or the steps and then just push it down, and as you can see, that's done. Yay. Okay, so next we're going to be going on to the stairs. Now there's 2 of these, so repeat this process twice. So yeah, just put glue on the back tabs, like so. I'm sorry I'm a bit off camera, there you go. So then there's this piece that fits in here. Now mine's a bit tight, so I just turn it around, and for some reason, voila, it fits a lot better. So yeah, sometimes you just need to fiddle around with them a bit and you'll find a natural place for them to go. So next we're going to go into each of the rung, where the rungs will go, or where the steps will go. You see there's slots for them, so we're just going to put some glue in each of these slots. Like so. Nothing difficult yet, as you can see. And then you just push each step in. So it's easiest if you put this top one in first and then hold it in place, because that'll keep the space correct for you. And then just push the steps into each of the slots. They're a bit tight, but if you give them a good old squeeze and a push, they'll get in. There you go. That's a better angle for you. So just push them down like so, and then you'll have 2 of the stairs done if you repeat that on the other stairs. Obviously clean up any loose glue that you have, work into the joints in order to get a good seal and bond. So next we're going to do this funny H-shaped tower piece that goes on the top. So I'm going to dry fit to see how exactly they fit together first. Always a good idea to do some dry fitting just to make sure that it doesn't, you haven't got two of the same piece, etc. So again, just liberally put in glue and rub it in. Now this is a bit of a fiddle to try and get them to stand. My PVA glue is quite tacky, like I've said before, so actually it does hold it quite well. I understand that it might be a bit trickier for some people if you're using thinner glue, but if you use like wood glue or builder's PVA, you generally be alright, because that's quite a bit thicker and it'll hold pretty much straight away. So far I would say that this build is really easy and you shouldn't have really any troubles doing this. Like so. So next we're gonna go for the top, the roof. So this is obviously the piece with the trapdoor in. So we need this outer piece of this, not the rest. So you just cut along like so, and you move it around until you find the hinges are over the actual trapdoor area. Next we're going to simply just go around again with some PVA glue and make sure that we get it all covered around the edges in order to glue down this rim. It's good to squeeze it from each of the sides just to make sure you've got it square with the base piece, like so. So you just go around squeezing all of the pieces until it's square. So here I'm gluing down the first of the walls, these little half walls, arched half walls, and it's simple. It's just put some glue on it and continue until you've finished all four, like so. Now the trapdoor obviously I've left unglued because I want to be able to remove it and open it, etc. So we get this H section. Now I'm going to put it down on this half wall just to give it a bit of rigidity, and hopefully it'll stay upright. Now comes a bit more of the trickier part. So finding the right parts that fit together is the tricky part of this model. So these pieces are all going on this piece. So how do I know that? I'm going to dry fit them, obviously. So I put them on there, and as you can see they all click in to the base perfectly. Now if you had the wrong piece it wouldn't fit, so they have done different lugs for the different pieces, okay? So dry fit it first, that's the most important part. See, now if I use the other piece, like so, there's some of these lugs that aren't being filled, and that means that you're using the wrong base, okay? So that's the main thing to take away from this video. If nothing else, do that, because that's what took me a good while to figure out which piece went where. So now we just come down to gluing it. So you just glue along the base where it's going to be sitting and slot in the piece of wall into the floor. Now I'm going to do the sides as well because I'm going to be popping this together quite quick, so just like so. And with PVA you don't have to worry about it going off too quick. And that's the first floor done, like so. Again, make sure you clean up any of your bubbles of glue. So then the next piece goes on the roof, obviously. That's the roof of that first box. Make sure it fits and everything lines up nicely. Try not to glue the actual roof onto the box, otherwise you're going to have problems later. So next we're going to dry fit these pieces, and we want these pieces with these big rounded nubs on two of the walls and a flat edge on the other walls. So we don't want these ones with the big nubs sticking out the corner. So again, we're just going to go around gluing all the pieces in place, doing it on each of the walls and the floor. It's pretty simple. Once you know which walls go where, it's not such a pain. Discovering that is half your battle, really. This model goes together quite nicely and really is not a problem once you know which pieces go on what. So as you can see, there's another floor done. On to the last one. So here are the ones with the large nubs on the top of them. So this is how you know this is for this floor. Now there is going to be a little gap underneath it. This is actually for those rounded nubs that were on the last one to fit up inside it and make sure that the structure doesn't move. So it gives the level a bit more stability and doesn't just fall off the bottom one, really. And that's it. We're pretty much done. So I'm going to leave you with some photos of the project when it's finished, and I hope that this video has been of some help to you. I know I had a bit of trouble, so that's why I made this video and that's why I'm releasing it. These are some pictures of what it looks like once it's done, finished up. As you can see, it's a lovely looking miniature building, and it'll work well in most games. I think once it's painted up, it's gonna add something, some height to some of the games, such as Frostgrave and stuff like that. So that's it. I hope you've enjoyed. Until next time, goodbye from Welsh Miniature Board Gamer.